Well, welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is From the Sidelines. And as we do it every time this week, we're going to talk about the round of NRL that's just been played. Tom, why are you looking like that?
What do you mean?
You're looking like very suspiciously into the camera as if you're...
No. I just have to look over my glasses to look at the camera because I need the glasses to look here. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, I have multifocals. I can see everything.
Well, that's 30 seconds we can't get back.
Well, that's true. In fact, 31 seconds. How was your weekend, gentlemen?
Yeah, good. Quiet for a change. First time in ages.
Yeah, I agree. It was quiet, wasn't it?
It was actually because it was so wet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not a lot of football to be played.
Or watched.
Oh, it's going to be one of those nights, is it? When no one's actually watched a game.
No, there wasn't a lot of games.
No, okay. No,
like, I watched them, but there wasn't a lot of games.
What was your highlight for the weekend?
My highlight for the weekend
was?
I think, in the Dolphins game, when Herbie Farnsworth lay down for a penalty for a high shot, and it wasn't given, and then he was taken off for HIA. Thank you, NRL, for doing it right.
Yes.
Hey, he stayed down for a good 30 seconds with everybody just staring at him. Didn't get the penalty and then was called off for HIA. You stayed down, you've obviously injured yourself.
But surely if you get a HIA, if the doctor says you got to come off, surely you got hit in the head. And you've always said if you hit him in the head, it's a penalty.
Can I just... Yeah, I agree, it should have been a penalty, but it wasn't.
Okay.
But, did you notice the refereeing in this game, in this weekend, apart from the Roosters-Cowboys game, which was a bit average, there were a lot of... I think the NRL must have said something to the clubs and the refs to say, you know what, because what were the last couple, like, the Tom Love tap on the chin, where he looked at the referee and then went, oh no, I've dropped the ball, I got hit.
Yeah.
I think the NRL must have come out and said, let's be fair dinkum, that, if it had hurt as much as being hit with a feather, then don't penalise it. Just get on with the game.
It's what happened with Tarpany on somebody.
Yeah. And so I thought there were a lot of games this weekend where 3 weeks ago, there would have been about 50 penalties.
Yeah.
And I thought it was fabulous. Fabulous. Because no one's been charged.
No.
Everyone's got a couple of fines because of a loose arm here and there. But it was great. No one was sin-binned. No one was fined.
Some should have been. There's a friend of ours from the Roosters who probably should have been binned.
I did say excluding the Roosters-Cowboys game.
There was a guy on the radio today and he said that for illegal stuff, it should go, the police should actually step in, which is totally ridiculous. And then another person said, well, if that was the case, Jared Hargraves would be serving life.
He would be. Tom, your highlight for the weekend?
Yeah, look, I actually really enjoyed the Eels Sharks game. I know we didn't talk about it, but I enjoyed seeing Gutho and Moses back.
And they played extremely well.
And I tell you what, if this game had happened the week before selection, I think Moses would have been in that team.
Yeah,
seriously,
no doubt.
He had a superb.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Can I tell you my highlight for the weekend?
Yes, you can.
Bunny's got 2 points. Big highlight. Hey, with the season that we're having, we're on 8 points and we're screaming towards the semi.
So you beat nobody.
You had two points.
It's irrelevant. We got 2 points. Doesn't matter who we beat, we got 2 points.
Okay.
It's a terrible year. Can we just switch this
It
off
is a terrible
go
year.
to 2025?
It's a terrible year for you.
Sure.
All right.
Gentlemen, on Thursday night, the Cronulla Sharks took on the Eels, but the Eels won 34-22 and an outstanding display by Parramatta, considering what they dished up last week against Souths.
Just goes to show how important Moses and Gutherson are to that team. They just give structure, they just give direction, just give some real inspiration, I think, to that team. But Moses was exceptional.
Yes.
Especially coming off, 8 weeks or something like that, with a plate in his foot. I thought his game was exceptional. Yeah. Brian?
What?
What did you think of Moses?
I think he makes a big difference to that team.
That's all you're
we want you to say just how good he was.
I think, all right, I don't know. Like, all right, so there are a couple of plays in the game where Moses was first receiver, and early in the game he was just farming it out. The Sharks were just taking care of that, and then somewhere in the middle of the first half he decided, oh, I'm not going to farm it out. I'm just going to take a couple of steps here and there, and he's quick enough that if he's taken a couple of steps, 2 could turn into half a field. Yeah. So I think at that point he befuddled the Sharks.
Maybe he was just feeling out his foot. He could have been feeling it out.
I don't know. I mean,
down the right hand side, that narrow right hand side, he's just brilliant at that.
Yep.
Sevo had a monster first half.
Yeah, but Sevo had a monster first half. This is the guy that the Parramatta fans wanted to dump 3 games ago. But he had a monster first half because Brown and Moses do all the work, and it just leaves him with the easiest tries to score.
But that's right. I was going to say, Alex Johnson, because that's the way a winger plays.
But you also want a winger like Xavier Coates, who's now my favourite winger, who can make something out of nothing. Sevo isn't necessarily that player. You're right. He's not I don't think he's a bad winger. I thought the uproar of Parramatta fans to get rid of him after the Manly game was astounding.
Yeah.
He lost his cool, but so did everyone in the team.
Yeah.
And I think Moses and Brown back made a massive difference to him.
Moses and Gutherson.
Yeah, Moses
but
and Gutherson.
But also frees up Brown to be Brown.
Yeah.
He was good too.
Yeah.
So are we talking about master coaching from Trent Barrett?
I hope so. Oh, please, Parramatta hire Trent Barrett. Please.
You're just cruel.
Not cruel.
Well, look, he's on the short list apparently. They're going
he's had 1 game in charge and 1 win. They look terrible.
He's had 2 games, 1 win, 1 loss.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And what did the Sharks do wrong?
They held off Moses. Like that, they couldn't wrap him up, and like I said, and that left gaps everywhere.
And I'm going to say, but they had a good enough team to win that game, regardless of the fact that Hines was out. Yeah. They still had a good enough team.
But they had two inexperienced halves. Trindle's played a few games, but he's always been on the fringe, never knowing if he's going to be the regular.
And
Ackerson,
Will Kennedy was exceptional. That try that he scored, the length of the field where it went from him back to Mulatalo, and that was one of the tries of the year.
Oh, that.
Oh, it was. I thought it was exceptional. Yep. There you go.
Yes.
And that was the first of many that I didn't tip. In fact, sitting in the tipping competition this week, I'm 0 for 5.
Well, I got that one because I picked Parramatta.
My only hope is that New South Wales might win on tomorrow night. I know. Okay, next one. And this is probably the one game of the weekend that wasn't exciting. I mean, not taking nothing away from the Dogs, but the other games were very good games. This one was one-sided. Dogs 32, Knights 2.
I think the Knights threw a lot at the Dogs, and I thought their defence was really very, very good.
The Knights' defence?
No, the Dogs' defence was exceptionally good, I thought.
Yep.
Knights tried really hard. They threw a lot. But their halves... their halves...
I think the Bulldogs were just living in the Knights' heads. After the last game, which was all of 6 weeks ago, and there was the Money and Hetherington pushing and shoving. There was a lot of niggle in that game. It seemed like all the Knights wanted to do was revenge or niggle back, and the Dogs played football.
Yeah.
And when one team's playing football and one's not, you lose by 30 points.
Yeah.
But to not even score a try, I mean, and didn't look like scoring a try.
Yeah, I don't think they threw that much at him. I thought Hastings was... we said a couple of weeks... You said, Tom, because I wouldn't say it, that Hastings could be, in line for a New South Wales jersey because he's the last man standing.
I forgot about Isaiah Katoa.
He didn't run the ball. Like, he wants to have every call and then doesn't do anything with it. I don't know. I would disagree that their halves are going well.
When do you think the refs are going to stand up to Marnie? Or do you think they ever will?
I mean, since when do you get in trouble for just, chirping away at a player?
Well, you used to get a
thump in the head.
Yeah, look, you know what? I'm in two minds. If he was doing it at my club, for my club, I'd be absolutely laughing. because he's doing nothing wrong and he is under the skin of everyone.
But what is it about the Dogs having these sort of players? Because
Ennis.
Mick
Mick
Ennis.
Ennis was one.
Yeah.
Josh Reynolds.
Josh Reynolds, yeah, there's
Reynolds.
another. Oh, yeah, look, I guess, but you know, I don't think it's anything wrong with it. Look, I wish they were allowed to thump him because that would be funny.
Somebody said once.
I think someone will.
Somebody talked about Ennis's legacy. You know, he's actually redeemed himself by being a decent analyst on TV. But if he'd never been shown his face again at the end of his career, one could have said that he was one of the niggliest players.
That's all he'd be
was there.
remembered for, yeah.
And Marnie's in danger of ending up the same way.
Yeah, but Marnie's all lip. Like, so you can't hit someone, you can't, you know, poke them, stand on their head, put the hand on the head while you're getting up like a lot of the old players did. All he's doing is giving a little bit of lip. And he got under the skin.
We got a headbutt.
I can't call that a headbutt. He got a little bit of a love tap.
Yeah.
But he got under the skin of like an Australian representative player. Like, go for it. Oh, good on you, Reed. Good on you. Go for it.
Which gives us the right to say anything we want, Brian.
No, you can.
Yeah, but he will punch back.
When the camera's off.
And
When the ref isn't watching.
Newcastle Knights, 2 points.
Yeah. Lucky to get that.
And that was early too. Not that it mattered, wasn't it? Trial.
I do. One of our listeners posted on the Facebook page, and I actually would like to know what if you could enlighten me here, Stephen, Tom. Why, when the Dogs players were sin binned, were they high-fiving and cheering that? Both occasions, when there was a sin bin, they were high-fiving on the way out. I'm going, dude, you just left your team a man down.
I don't because I don't think it's a high five.
Well, what was it?
You quite often when you see them, they're holding out their hands and they're just supporting him. And I think it was just an action. It was up here and
one of the most annoying things is when blokes make a absolute bonehead mistake. And all the players come up and tap them on the head and pat them on the shoulder. There, you'll be right.
I'm okay with that, but I'm not okay when you've done so many things illegal that you've been binned.
Yeah, but it's not like they did a high five.
Isn't always that play. He's the last
one
in the chain of command who gets binned.
Yeah.
He's not always the one who's continued to do it.
I'm not.
In the whole team.
Either way, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that that's a good look.
No, it's not. But
they're cocky at the moment.
They're cocky.
That's another thing.
Is this the game where he was binned for? Oh, that's right. Where the second Dog's binning, where he was binned just because he was in the way, and they called it a professional foul. And I'm going, you can't disappear. I mean, it was a pretty bad binning for that reason.
Well, I tell you what, the Knights are probably saying thank you for binning 2 players because we only lost by 30 points.
Well,
could have been worse.
They kept scoring with only 12 players out there, so yeah.
All right. Now let's go on to Bluebet Stadium, and the Panthers lose at Bluebet, which is highly unusual. 22-10.
They scored the first 10 points as well.
Yeah, it was half time. It was 10-0.
Apparently, Flano gave them one of his 3 for a year sprays.
Would have been a big one.
Yeah, apparently.
They were shocking in the first half.
Yeah.
They really
But
were.
it worked.
Yeah.
They were very good.
And I did read in the paper that, but hey, Penrith had a lot of players out. But then so did the Saints.
Yeah,
they had no Lomax, no
Lomax.
Ben Hunt, no Jaden Sewer.
Yep, they're their 3 best players by a long way.
That's right. So, and Penrith still had a pretty strong team.
Penrith did have a lot of players out there. Isn't it funny? Penrith can lose 6 players and we go, gee, that's a strong team. One of our clubs lost 6 players, you'd be going, oh, geez, we've got a few weaknesses. Penrith, I think that the lack of
leadership was the thing.
Yeah, the lack of halves control killed them because in the you've had Luai running the show and Cleary, and I think there were some poor options. That's all.
Schneider and Cole, wasn't it?
Well,
yeah, and Schneider, not that it was bad, but it was a bit like the Knights game where you need more. You want more. And they're 10 points up. They should have given
and
more.
Leota went down as well with Andy.
Yeah.
From the first run in the second half, St George were making meters every play.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
And just kept it going for 40 minutes. They could be world beaters if they played for 80 minutes. Absolutely world beaters.
Well, that's what Flano's hoping.
Well, they're not. They suck. Barry, they suck.
Barry.
All right. Next game was exciting.
Well, I thought it was going to be a
Oh.
dour game to begin with. The last 20 minutes was very exciting.
Which
Oh,
one?
the Dolphins
the next
Raiders.
game?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dolphins
okay, sorry.
Raiders.
At
Yeah.
KO Stadium, where the Raiders 26 beat the Dolphins 25.
25 all to extra time. Jordan Rapiner kicks his first field goal, and then he's second to win the game.
Okay, so tell me, let's go right to the end of it since you brought it up.
Yep.
Was the Dolphins player interfered with for Rapiner to kick the final?
No.
He was touched. I've got
Yeah.
to tell you, he was touched.
No.
But I didn't think there was an awful lot in the first one
Well,
either.
if you
So
if you look at the one where was it Max, what's his name?
Plath.
I mean, I don't think there was a lot in that either.
No, that's my point.
Yeah.
So if you're going to pull up one for minor infringement, you got to pull up the next one for minor infringement.
Oh, yeah. Somebody said, look, that was stupid. What did you do that for?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was okay. I thought they were both okay.
Which would have reversed and Dolphins get the 2 points and Raiders go home.
Anyway, either way.
And I would have at least had one win.
Can I just say, I haven't gone back and watched this game again, but how many field goal attempts did the Dolphins miss?
A few.
They've got to be practicing that, surely.
Well, Asako is usually pretty.
He's usually pretty good.
They didn't set up well for him.
No, they didn't.
They didn't set up well.
No.
There was I was going to say Denny Levi. I thought played exceptionally well in that field goal time. Mm-hmm. So he would get so we don't want players interfered with. We get that.
Yeah.
But Denny Levi was smart enough. And he's strong enough to go 2 steps across, get in the way, but he's the dummy half. He's got the ball.
Yeah.
And then pass the ball. He's impeded the player
Yeah.
totally legally.
That's right. No, that's right.
That's the tactic.
Yeah.
He impeded the player legally.
Yep.
They were rushing to get to him, and he's just, he's
Yep.
the dummy half. He's taken 2 steps and passed.
So it's one thing to be a good kicker. It's another thing to have a good team set. Have practice your setup.
I think they also need to learn to step back a little bit because I did notice the Dolphins didn't have. It wasn't a very long pass to get the ball back to him, and I think you could have at least had someone in the middle to pass because I think they're trying to set up too close to the post.
Yep.
You know, so
Yeah.
and he's a good enough kicker that he should be able to kick that distance anyway.
Yeah, I think so. Look, I thought it was a great game. It was one of those seesaw, and I was thinking at least 5 or 6 times through that game, the Raiders are gone.
Yeah.
The Dolphins have got this in the bag.
Yeah.
And then they'd fight their way back, and they'd defend their line and score again.
Jordan Rapiner, I mean, outside
Oh.
of his field goal kicking, is an exceptional player.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
He plays a bit on the loose side, but he is a huge competitor.
But he's what you would call an effort player.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
he's another grub.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No,
yes, he
no,
is.
he-
Yes, he is. He's got niggle and grub in him more than
Absolutely.
just about more than
But
any
he's
other
a-
player.
but he's a
No,
good
You know
player.
what? You know why he's saying no? Because I heard a rumor during the week.
What?
Oh really?
Yeah, Rapinar's off contract and he wants fullback money.
Oh, no, he's not coming to the Bunnies.
And apparently
No.
Wayne's a big fan.
Well, if
You'd love it.
I-
You'd love it.
honestly,
You'd have a
the Bunnies.
fullback.
Honestly, we'd be talking about Dad's Army because he's another one who's about 35 years old.
But you'd have a fullback.
I've got a fullback.
Who?
No, you
The
don't.
young guy.
Oh,
Monroe.
Joe Gray.
Dre Gray.
Yeah, but if you could have Rapiner.
No.
Okay,
No,
fair enough.
Rapiner doesn't have the speed that Joe Gray has.
He
doesn't need
he
it at
doesn't
the moment.
need it.
Doesn't need it.
Oh, come on.
No.
If you
No.
get
No.
him in
No.
your back line, you'll have Johnson on one side, you'll have Latrell and White in the centres. That's a monster.
Thank you for watching tonight's show. This is Tom, Brian, and Steve, and you're from the sideline. We're from the sidelines. No, we're not having him.
We'll
Sorry.
see.
We
We'll
don't
see what
need
happens
more
next year.
age.
We're getting Atkins.
You'll see. Oh, that's right. You and Aiken.
Aiken.
Yeah, you and Aiken. Yeah, there's another old bloke.
He's not that old. He's only 27 years old, and he's got speed.
Jeremy
Can I-
Michael King.
Young and speed.
Can I say I had to check that because I thought the same thing when you said old. I had to go and check it. I go, hang on a second. Wasn't it like 10 years ago he was playing for the Dragons and they didn't want him?
You and Aiken.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It feels like 10 years ago.
It wasn't 10 years ago, but it was a while ago.
My
Yes.
goodness.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about the most boring game of the weekend.
Yes.
North
Tom?
Queensland 18, Roosters 16.
Go, Tom.
I was worried from the first few minutes in this game. It didn't matter that we were scoring points.
You were
it was
well
just
ahead of the...
14-4.
Yeah.
We scored a plucky try at the end, a lucky try at the end of the first half. But honestly, there was no cohesion in that team. They were hitting the ball up, but yeah, none of their passing was working. And look, Joey Manu hogged the ball. He didn't play his usual game. He did a lot of running. Actually, he looked more like Teddy. But I'd like to think that they trained with Teddy. All the passing game was with Teddy in there, and Manu doesn't play that kind of game. But either way, they were very flat, and they should have nailed that game in the second half.
I've got to say, I think it was the worst game I've seen Dominic Young play.
He was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, he did a couple of good things, but generally he was dropping the ball, he was missing tackles,
And he was trying to outrun everybody.
Yeah.
And after the first time he got caught, he should have stopped. But yeah, it just wasn't happening. I don't know what it was. It was very frustrating.
I like that. I want that to happen every week.
What, for the Roosters?
For the Roosters to not be happening.
See, he's scared.
I'm not scared.
He's scared.
I'm not scared. I'm
He's
just
scared.
you bandwagon Roosters supporters. It's like I haven't got a call today from a bloke who I haven't seen in like 6 months. He always says to me, he goes, "Oh no, this was last week." He goes, "How's Manly going?" I said, "Oh, we had a win." And he goes, "So the Roosters, mate. So the Roosters." I'm going, dude. Like they just come out of the woodwork.
But I don't do that. I mean,
Yeah, you do.
I celebrate their wins, and this week was terrible. I mean, I've got to give it to the Cowboys too, because they were gritty and they took their chances when they could. And
And Scott Drinkwater had an exceptional game. In the second half,
that try he scored was soft. I thought the pass to Funiyaki, whatever his name is, the number 12, that was exceptional. He picked it up out of nowhere and then he rolled over and scored. I thought that was exceptionally good. But yeah, they were just off. Off.
Drinkwater
going into a bye is just really disappointing.
I know. That means you lose, really.
Well, we would have been top 4 if we'd won.
Yeah.
Drinkwater was good, and I remember at the start of the year, I had this conversation with you guys. Christian Welch starting on the bench, and
we're talking about.
No. Christian Welch was starting on the bench.
Oh, okay.
And everybody was saying, "Oh, that relationship. Oh, Bellamy's got with Welch. Starting his captain on the bench. Oh, what a great." And Todd Payton starts big Jason Tamalolo on the bench, and everyone's like, "Oh, geez, that's a fractured relationship." That was Tamalolo's best game of the season.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So if he's worked in that he's going to peak at this time of the year and continue to go on, hats off to Todd.
And I don't know why people would argue that, because we all know that he's coming to the end of his career.
Yeah,
and we all know he can't be. He's not an 80-minute player.
That's right.
Why not use him as an impact after the first 20 minutes when all the heavy stuff's done?
I agree.
Yeah,
100%. And they're young back rowers at the Cows. They need someone like him around to show them what to do, how to play, be professional. And I don't understand why all that flack was there. And he's come out and he's proved it at the start of June. Yep. Jason Tamalolo's had his best game of the season.
Cows were missing 6 top line players.
Yes,
we were missing 5, but I think they were missing more quality than we were really.
Yep.
And yeah, it was really disappointing. For the whole game, I thought I felt nervous. Whereas other games, we get to a 12-0 lead, and I think, we're on today. They didn't look on at all.
No, they didn't.
The whole game.
All right, and that left the byes to be the Broncos, Titans, Sea Eagles, Storm, Rabbitohs, Warriors, and West Tigers. Gentlemen, who wants to do the ladder? Don't ask me.
I just lost my connection.
We got Storm, Sharks on 20 points, Panthers on 18. Dolphins, Broncos, Raiders 16. The mighty Sea Eagles. With our first bye, we move into the top 8 again in 7th. The Roosters on 14 points with the Dogs and the Cows and the Knights and the Dragons. Holy dooly, that's tight, isn't it?
I'm glad we got a good for it again.
Warriors on 13, Titans, Eels on 10, and the West Tigers and the poor little bunnies on 8. And interestingly, the Cows... and this is minus the bye, by the way. So the Roosters and the Cows still have to have their bye.
Yes, we only team not to have a bye.
And the Cows
up to this round.
And the Cows.
No, in the 8, I mean. Up until that round.
Yep. Cool. Done. So we've got 2 of our teams in the top 8 and 1 of them last.
Just the way we like it.
Coming up the rear and streaming through.
I think you should find another term.
All right.
Streaming through to the semis from this point on, let me tell you.
What are we talking about next, Steve?
Origin.
Origin. So, obviously you're supporting the Blues.
Correct.
Obviously you're supporting the Maroons because of the colours you're wearing, by the way.
It's always the same.
Very disappointing, Brian. I would have thought you would have brought something different.
I'm about to walk out. I can't believe that you would even ingest. You know what? That's a read my only comment. Even in jest, that's poor. Oh.
Who said I'm jesting?
You haven't declared for yourself yet. You've gone for Queensland a few times.
I'm moderating between the two of
Oh,
you.
sure.
You're moderating wrong. We're on the same team.
Yes.
It doesn't look like
And
it.
I think with Edwards dropping out and Teddy coming in, it's actually a stronger team.
Well, that's interesting because you've been a big Edwards fan.
Yeah.
Have you not heard me? Did you not hear my State of Origin team like from last week?
I thought you picked Edwards.
No.
Okay.
Oh my.
Brian, we don't listen to you.
They sit right next to me and they don't listen to me.
We haven't listened to you all year.
And your point is?
I don't know. I've lost it now because I've been accused of loving the Maroons and I don't. No, you're right because I don't think last year when Teddy was woefully out of form, he should have been picked. Regardless.
But you don't think he's woefully out of form this year?
I think he had his best game in 3 years last week.
I hated the fact that they played one good game and
No,
all
no,
of a
no.
sudden it's...
Teddy's been good all
Wait.
year.
He
No,
is.
no, I'm not saying he hasn't, but...
Teddy's a quality player. He's been good this year, and he had his best game in the last 2 years last week.
All right,
Which made it all that much harder for him to get dropped.
Let's talk State of Origin.
All right.
Obviously, we're all going for New South Wales.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's not obvious, Steve.
I think it should be.
Well, sometimes you don't.
I think it goes without saying.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay.
By the way, there is not one South Sydney player in either State of Origin team.
Does that surprise
Coming
you?
last.
Does that surprise
Well,
you?
it does actually,
Okay.
yes.
How many West Tigers players are in the teams? None, because they're coming equal last. Doesn't that tell you something?
No.
Okay, sorry.
I mean, other than the fact that we've got injuries as well,
Oh, you and your injuries.
Cameron Murray would be playing.
But
not even
Eels,
Jai Arrow
hang
got
on.
picked, and Jai Arrow's been the best
Hang
player all
on.
year.
The Eels are coming third last. How many players do they have in the teams? One.
At least they got one.
Yeah, one. They're third last, though. I mean, these are two teams that have actually been reasonably picked on form.
Listen,
Anyway,
doesn't matter.
Steve,
Yes.
what's your score?
For State of Origin?
Yep.
New South Wales will win
Yep. You better. We're going to put this down on the Facebook page.
22 to 16.
Oh, jeez. 22-16.
22-16 will be a New South Wales win.
Tom?
18-12.
Ooh, that's very close to me. I'm going 18-8.
So we think it's going to be 6 difference. You think it's going to be 10 difference.
Yeah, I do. I think
Game one's always a slow scoring game.
in the wet.
Yep.
I think it's a 3 tries to 1 game.
Is it going to be wet tomorrow night?
Apparently they think it's going to be rain.
Okay.
All from here on in.
Steve, first try scorer.
Reece Walsh.
Ooh. So you reckon we're going to come back from a deficit?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
I
Tom?
think Queensland will score first.
Tom?
I know it's biased, but I'll go for Sua'ali'i.
I think Crichton.
Great.
Crichton.
Can I make a
Which one, Stephen or Andy?
Stephen.
Can I make a statement? I say that after, and this is a bold statement. and
Bold
Tom's gonna
statement.
hate me, but I'm going to say after State of Origin 1, we're going to be arguing why Sua'ali'i was even in the team.
Yeah, I agree. We're arguing that now because he shouldn't be there.
No.
No, but you're not talking about anything about his form. You're talking about.
No,
No,
I am
I
talking.
don't-
I am talking about his
I
form.
don't- I don't think
You
he's-
don't think he's going to play very well.
I don't think he's going to play very well.
I think he's an average. He's an above average winger and a very average centre, and they've picked him in the centres.
I think we'll be looking for another centre. If Lomax is not Lomax. If there is another centre available, I think they'll pick him.
Jesse Ramian.
Jesse Ramian, yeah,
We shall see.
cooler.
Isn't he injured?
Cooler.
Isn't he
Yeah,
injured?
no, he's back this week.
Okay.
Hey, look, he'll get there one
Well, he'll
day.
be injured by this week.
Steve, man of the match. Much harder.
Much harder. I'm going to say no. I want to say Yo,
Ooh.
but he's coming off the bench.
Yeah, but still, he could still do it.
Yeah,
you never know.
he
State
could.
of origin.
He could. In fact, no. I'll actually go Teddy. I think Teddy will be man of the match.
Wow. You didn't even have him in your origin team.
No, but he's in there now. But think about this. He's in there now and he's got a point to prove.
Yeah,
So-
okay.
so
I got a question about that in a minute.
He will want to be able to say, I'm in the next team, regardless of how well Edwards is playing or whether if he's not injured.
Yep.
He's going to put on. I trust that he will put on an exceptional performance.
Okay. Tom, your man of the match?
Are you writing these down, by the way?
No, you're going to put him on the Facebook page.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
You're going to. Well,
We
you have
put
to
them
send
on
them all
yourself.
to me.
We put them on yourself.
Yeah.
I am going to go. Well, I think the halves have to star for us to win. I'm going to go Nico Hines.
That's interesting.
Who are you going to go?
I'm going to be very biased. I'm going to go Jake.
Well,
I'm going to go Jake to lead from the front and for 60 minutes go non-stop and win the match for us.
Okay, you want bold statement number 2?
Bold statement number 2. Yeah?
Nico Hines doesn't last the distance.
Oh, Steve, you're a hateful man.
No, I'm not. I'm
Yes.
saying we're going to win. I'm
Oh.
saying we're going to have a centre who
Crikey.
can perform well and a halfback who's not going to make the difference.
So we're
But
gonna-
still going to win by 6.
He's not going to make the difference or not going to make the
Distance.
distance?
I think he's
so
going
who's going
to.
to
I
step
think
into
he's
his
no. I'm
position?
saying I think his injury
Yeah.
will.
So who's going to step in for it?
Well, I'm not sure.
During the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I still think there'll be a shifty
Well,
late
Maguire's
change.
saying that there's not going to be.
Well, do you reckon Burton will go into the 17?
I think Burton's got to go into the 7-8.
I think he's got to because I don't
don't
trust-
know. The problem is, I don't know who ahead of who. I'm guessing
It's Hudson
Lenu,
Young.
but why would you take your prop off?
But I think Lenu probably offers more impact if that's what you're looking for off the bench than
Then-
Young. Young's is rangier and he can offload, but I think you want the power.
Well, I think there's not much difference between Olakuatu, Young, and Kilamatangi.
But he's not playing.
Yeah, no, but I don't think there's a lot of difference between those
And he
three.
should be. He's not playing.
No, he's not. The team's coming last, and he's had one
But he
good
should
game
be.
this year, and it was average
But
at
he
that.
should be playing.
Yeah. All right.
So should Cody, by the way.
All right. Let's go to next week's game, Steve.
Yes.
St George and the Tigers on Friday night because of State of Origin. So
Yeah.
it's Friday night. St George and the Tigers.
Dragons.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Benji's gone off overseas for a holiday.
Oh, I was going to ask a
Who
question.
cares? Let him have a
He
holiday.
just brought it up.
Yeah, I didn't know.
But everyone's bagging him out.
I didn't know he went on holiday.
He went over
Oh,
to
that's
Fiji or something with his family because they got a
But he
buy.
sent everybody away.
Had a buy. Yeah.
He sent everybody
Who
away.
cares? Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. Papers, get over it.
Yeah, we
You
don't
should be
care.
thankfully actually they came back.
Who, the Tigers?
All of them.
No, I want them to come
Head
back
back
because they're
to
going to
the
get the wooden
club.
spoon above South Sydney.
No, you don't want them to come back so that you can bump them. All right, yeah. So Dragons for me.
Yeah. I think
Steve?
Dragons will win.
I don't know. The Dragons can do it twice in a row, but I'm probably going to tip them. But
It's
like
at
I
win.
say,
It's
I'm-
at win. If it was anywhere else, I wouldn't
If
go to the
Queensland
Dragons.
win tomorrow night, I'm 0 for 6 this weekend. So I don't.
It doesn't
know
matter
to
what
think.
he picks.
No, I'm so far down the bottom. It doesn't matter. So look, I'll go Dragons. Saturday. 3:00. Titans and the Rabbitohs. Stop laughing. I don't even want to ask you two. I know what you two are going to say.
What?
I'm going to go Rabbitohs. Don't listen to these two because they're
Titans-
going to pick Titans.
Titans playing well.
Well, the Titans last week knocked over Brisbane at full strength.
Yeah.
Like you got to go the Titans.
Yes.
I
At home too.
Just on form. I'm sorry.
In Des they trust.
That made me a bit sad.
I'm going Bunnies. You two are going Titans. All right. North Queensland and the Warriors on Saturday.
You see, I don't think that North Queensland can do it twice with all their players backing up. I'm going the Warriors.
That's a line ball for me. Well, the Cowboys will have their men back. I reckon the Cowboys will win at home. But it'll be tight.
I'll go Cowboys. Broncos and Sharks.
Broncos in a galloping canter.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Broncos.
And Nico Hines isn't even listed to play.
Yeah, I'll probably want to rest his whatever it is.
Well, according to Steve, he's going to snap his hamstring in the middle of the game.
It's his calf.
Or his calf, whatever it is.
Storm and Knights.
The Storm by the length of the straight.
Unless we can knock a few of them out in Origin, the Storm.
It doesn't matter. They could put their reserve grade team on, and they could put the Bears on and beat the Knights.
Panthers and
Bears
Sea
currently
Eagles.
don't have any. Oh, they do.
Sorry?
Panthers and Sea Eagles.
Oh, we're on fire. We're going to win that one.
At Blue Bet.
Yep. They lost last week. They'll lose again.
I think it'll be close. But I don't think the Panthers will want to lose twice.
I don't think they'll lose twice in a row. And they'll have all their players back from State of Origin.
See, I say, using sensible words, that the Souths will lose, and you harass me.
Yeah, because you're wrong. Because you really don't know what you're talking about.
Ooh, next game, and the next game.
Well, hang on. I've Tom Panthers.
Panthers. Yeah.
I've got Panthers as well.
I
Dogs.
don't like tipping the Panthers. Okay, I'd rather tip Manly, but I just don't.
You should.
No.
You should take it.
You know, I'm seriously thinking about giving up tipping now because I tend to tip the team I hate, who I think's going to win, and then I barrack for the team that I prefer to win.
But you didn't tip for South, and you won't be.
There are exceptions.
Yeah, you didn't. You didn't tip South, and you won't be barracking.
Have you looked at the
South.
ladder lately, Steve?
Doesn't matter.
It matters a lot.
Doesn't matter. We're neighbours. You should be supporting us.
I sure like you support us. I said to you, will you wear a jersey at the 2013 Grand Final with me? And you said, over my coal stone dead body.
I understand that sentiment.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't do that. I have a photo of Brian in his house jersey. I don't have one of you.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a dumb move, wasn't
that
it?
was a dumb move.
Dogs and Eels.
Dogs.
I'm going to give the Eels another chance.
Yeah, I think the Eels are on.
I think the Eels are. I want the Eels to be in the running for the spoon, so they have to lose.
You're a hateful man. You're a hateful man.
How you
He
feel?
doesn't speak for all of us.
How you feel about the Roosters is how I feel about Parramatta.
Oh dear. And then the buys go to the Raiders, the Dolphins, and the Roosters.
Yep, finally we get a bye.
Finally, you get a buy. So, Brian, anything intelligent you want in the show with?
Yeah, I want Gordon Tallis to pull his head in.
Yeah, I can't stand it.
Gordon Tallis.
I usually don't mind Gordon Tallis.
About the comment about Maguire and coaching the referees.
Yeah, and he's coaching the referees. Oh, if I was Teddy, you'd be insulted. You wouldn't even come back.
Oh,
like
yeah, that's stupid.
all that garbage.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like.
He's just trying to bait you.
Yeah,
and he's doing a good job.
He did a good job because he baited me. Like, I still remember vividly being at the game where he picked Hodgson up and threw him over the sideline into the third row of the grandstand. So I was there cheering for the Blues and he monstered me. Not me personally.
Monstered the fullback.
He monstered my team and it hurt. And I'm never forgiving him in State of Origin. I will never barrack for Queensland. Not even for a game. There you go. That's all.
Thank you. Tom?
What?
Anything you want to tell
I
us?
was just looking at the ladder, and unfortunately, the other two teams having a bye this week are above us, which means we're not going to go very far. Well, we'll go above the Seagulls.
You won't, because we'll win.
Um,
And the Dogs will also win. And you can have your bye and you won't do anything with it.
We shall see.
We shall see. All right. That's the end of our show. Thank you for watching. This is From the Sidelines with Tom, Brian, and
Don't forget to put your
Steve.
tips in for State of Origin.
Yes. Well, what we'll do, we'll put one post up.
I'll put that post up in a minute. Yeah,
Put our post up on one, and you can all comment and tell us how wrong Brian
Stephen
is
is.
about.
Well, we all picked the same team to win, so I don't know whether we're going to be wrong.
I just put the scoring.
Yeah, scoring.
But you got to put in my bold predictions.
Yeah. So score. Who's going to win? Man of the match. First try scorer.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yep. Sounds good to me. And any bold prediction you'd like to add in.
Yep.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you all again next week. Bye bye.
See ya.
See ya.